please call roll.
Alderman Witte.
Here.
Alderman Panus. Alderman Dougherty.
Here.
Alderman Crawford.
Here.
Alderman Robinson.
Here.
Alderman Gonzalez.
Here. Please rise for the invocation.
Lord, we are meeting tonight to conduct matter of business. Guard our hearts, our minds, and spirit of fairness, right thoughts and speech. Empower your supreme wisdom upon our activities, so that our affairs may reach a successful conclusion. Thank you for being our source of inspiration. In your name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice
for all. Reading, correcting, and approval of minutes of the previous regular meeting.
The regular meeting of the Olean Common Council was held on Tuesday, September 22nd, 2020 at 6:35 p.m. Present, Alderman Gonzalez, Alderman Witte, Alderman Panus, Alderman Dougherty, Alderman Crawford, Alderman Robinson, and Alderman Anastasia.
Okay, I make a motion to approve the minutes. Would anyone like a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Witte. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, minutes are approved. We'll move on to committee reports and unfinished council business.
We have none.
Communications from the mayor.
There's two proclamations tonight, but before we go into the proclamations, I just want to let everybody know that there's a major fire going on up in Yorkshire. Up in Yorkshire. And our phone trailer has been called to it. So we have 3 men in the phone trailer moving up there to assist them from our fire department. Okay.
National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Whereas National Breast Cancer Awareness Month honors women who lost their lives to breast cancer and recognize the survivors who courageously continue to fight the disease. Whereas breast cancer is the second leading cause of cancer death in women, but death rate has been dropping since 1989. This decrease, primarily in women younger than 50, is believed to be a result of early detection through screening, increased awareness, and better treatment. Therefore, in recognition that increased awareness is a tool in fighting breast cancer, I, William J. Aiello, Mayor of the City of Olean, on behalf of the Common Council, do hereby proclaim October as National Breast Cancer Awareness Month in the City of Olean. Furthermore, I commend the Olean professional firefighters for wearing special shirts to honor those who fought the disease, and I urge all women and their families in the City of Olean to get the fact about mammography and other screening methods. In testimony thereof, I hereunder set my hand and cause to be affixed the seal of the City of Olean, the 13th day of October 2020.
We have tonight with us Captain Jim Theodore from the Olean Fire Department. And once we do the special proclamation for Fire Prevention Month, I'll present each of these proclamations to them.
Special proclamation for Fire Prevention Month. Whereas the City of Olean, New York, is committed to ensure the safety and security of all living in the city and visiting our community. Whereas each year during the month of October, the City of Olean's Department of Fire, Buildings and Emergency Services take the opportunity to remind Olean residents of the devastating impact of fire. Whereas residents who have practiced a home fire escape plan are more prepared and will be more likely to survive fire. Whereas smoke alarms cut the risk of perishing in home fires by half. Whereas this year, fire prevention theme, serve up fire safety in the kitchen, reminds us to stay alert and use caution when cooking to reduce the risk of kitchen fires. Whereas Olean professional firefighters respond to approximately 3,400 calls for service per year and are dedicated to reducing the occurrence of home fires through prevention and education. Therefore, I, William J. Aiello, Mayor of the City of Olean, do hereby proclaim October as Fire Prevention Month in the City of Olean and urge residents to check their kitchens for fire hazards, make sure that the smoke detectors are in working order, and practice their fire escape plans during the month. In testimony thereof, I have hereunto set my hand and cause to be affixed and the sale of the City of Olean the 13th day of October 2020.
Captain?
Anything else, Mayor?
That's it.
Miscellaneous communications.
We have none.
City official reports.
We have none.
Proposed legislations and referrals.
PL 56-20 by Mayor Aiello, referred to regular meeting Tuesday, October 13, 2020, for resolution by Council President. PL 57-20 by Mayor Aiello, referred to regular meeting Tuesday, October 13, 2020, for resolution by Council President. PL 58-20 by Mayor Aiello, referred to regular meeting Tuesday, October 13, 2020, for resolution by Council President. PL 59-20 by Alderman Witte, referred to Strategy Planning Committee by Council President. PL 60-20 by Alderman Witte, referred to Strategy Planning Committee by Council President. PL 61-20 by Alderman Crawford, referred to Public Safety Committee by Council President. PL 62-20 by Mayor Aiello, referred to Strategy Planning Committee by Council President.
Okay. Before we open the public comment section, I'd like to first offer an opportunity. Anyone on the council like to make a comment, please do so at this time. Alderman Crawford.
Thank you, Paul. I wanted to extend the council's congratulations to Bob Clark for getting married yesterday. So, congratulations, Bob. Welcome to the club.
Didn't get an invite, Bob? Oh, we're close.
Anyone else? Okay, seeing none, will the clerk please read the public comment statement?
The public comment portion of the Common Council regular meeting is established to provide members of the community with the opportunity to publicly state their views, voice their concerns, or to provide input pertinent to any issue affecting city government. Additionally, the mayor, common council members, and city department heads encourage any person with questions to contact them at their offices.
Okay, that being said, I will open the public comment section. If you'd like to make a comment, please approach the podium, state your name and address. You'll have 5 minutes.
Along 203 North 11th Street, Olean, New York. Just have a quick question about the airport. That's a public place, correct? And if that's a public place, where do I find the flight plan? Flight log.
I'm not really sure how to answer that question. I'm sorry, you put me on the spot. Maybe if you'd give us a little time to get you an answer on that, maybe submit an email to Bob Ring with the council or with the mayor, how you can get that answer.
Appreciate that. Second, Mayor, we had a conversation earlier in the fall, late summer, and where I come from, men give their word, that's what they go by. And I'm not going to be up here pitching at you or anything like that, but I just want you to know that you told me something and you didn't act on your word. I don't appreciate that.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Clark, do you want to come up here? All right, that being said, I will call public comment section closed so we can move on to finance and bills.
We got none.
Resolutions.
Resolution 73-20, PL 56-20. To authorize the mayor to execute an agreement with Lakeshore Paving, the lowest responsible bidder for the reconstruction portion of the SRE pavement reconstruction project at the Cattaraugus County Olean Airport, the amount of $247,957.
We have discussed this in committee. Would anyone like to make a comment, a question, or a concern?
Paul, could I make a comment, please?
Please do.
Okay.
Crawford, yes.
Thank you very much, President Gonzalez. I'm sorry, everyone, but I can't just sit here and not explain what is exactly at stake, especially for some of the new aldermen. Every time that we accept more of this quote-unquote free federal money for the airport, which resides in Ishiway, not in Olean, and which serves far less than 1% of our city's population. First of all, our federal budget is an absolute joke, as we now sit at $28 trillion in debt. And part of that problem is the FAA. The FAA justifies its own existence by doling out billions of dollars to tiny airports just like ours all over the country. This money grab is yet another pathetic strain on the backs of our taxpayers and the generations yet to come, but claim it's all for economic development. For the record, there's an airport in Olean, Wellsville, Jamestown, Bradford, St. Mary's, and Hornell. Literally, that's an airport every 50 miles in every direction. Yet our population and the airport's annual usages shrinks year after year. If these facilities are such a major economic driver for our region, then I ask, why the heck do we bleed residents, industry, and investment? Second, when we accept these magical, too good to be true FAA grants, we are entering into an operational contract into perpetuity, virtually forever. Currently, our budget projects $251,000 in costs and under $150,000 in revenues. Last year, we lost over $100,000 on that facility alone. We can't afford to pay to replace our city's deplorable sidewalks or fix up our parks, but we can subsidize more than $100,000 a year for a playground for 10 people? To me, that's not being fiscally conservative, nor is it fair to our residents. The federal clock of 20 years starts every time we accept more of their free money, keeping the city operating the facility year after year. If we tried to walk away before that, the city would have to cough up and reimburse all of that grant money back to Uncle Sam. So 20 years at $100,000 to $150,000 lost per year is $2 to $3 million. Lost for what? I'd rather see that money go into our neighborhoods, our streets, and our parks. 3 years ago, I challenged the city to come up with a way to make the airport more sustainable, partner with a flight school or Mercy Flight, conduct more fundraising efforts, start a skydiving company. I don't care, get a larger contribution from the county. But that hasn't happened, so I will not support this resolution. So think about it, Aldermen. Our skating rink breaks even every year, so why isn't it possible? I know not all municipal services break even. I get it. The police, the fire department, our parks, DPW, etc., but they all serve a heck of a lot more than 10 residents per year. And that's an exaggeration, yes. So in closing, I encourage the other aldermen to consider drawing a line in the sand with me. If you're sick of wasting taxpayer money, whether it's federal or state or local, I ask you to join me in voting no on this resolution until we start to get a sustainable plan in place. Thank you very much.
Alder Dougherty.
Paul, I'd like to follow John by reiterating a point that I've constantly made about the airport. While the airport may not serve as great of a service to the city as the fire department, the police department, the skating rink, parks, things like that everybody can use, we can't apply for a lot of grants because we wouldn't have the backing of the airport as our largest asset. The thing that we use to get our credit score for a municipality as high as it is. It's a $50 million plus establishment that we get to borrow against using money that we hardly put into it. $50 million, we put $100,000 a year into it, and every year it goes up by a couple $1 million, and we get to continue to borrow and borrow against that for grants to fix up parks, to fix up the skating rink, things like that, where we would not ordinarily have been able to borrow the money or have gotten said grants or had gotten said loans at an amazing interest rate that we have here in the city. So I would like to, if there's no other comments after this, I'd like to sponsor this resolution.
So,
I've got one more thing for that.
yeah.
I guess I would ask you to prove it. Because if you don't, if you can't put some sort of, if you can't quantify, if it's just conjecture and hypothesis that we get a better credit score based on this and we get a savings based on that, prove it. Because I've got data that says we lose money every single year, so now I'm asking you, prove it. So how much money do we save? What's our credit score? What's our rating? What's our bond rating increase because of it?
I'll put something together for you, John.
Okay.
So I just want to say, this is going to sound contradictory, but I'm going to vote yes for this, but that doesn't mean I don't agree with everything you just said, right? You're absolutely right. Like, the argument you make, and it's a very valid concern. My question and issue is, okay, so say we voted this down, and we just decided right now we're just not going to fund anything more at the airport, right? We still have to operate an airport for 20 years. We don't have that plan in place. How do we do that? We're just going to stop funding it? And then now the countdown starts. So we'll see it in 2040 when we're finally out from under it. How is that even going to work? What's our plan for that? And I know you don't have that answer.
Well, I do have that answer, Paul. Unless our back is against the wall, we're not going to be forced to make any changes, right? I don't think, how much time and effort is being put into making it a sustainable operation. So that's what we brought this up years ago.
But my point, John, is say we as a council and the mayor of the city, we all said, okay, we're gonna get out of the airport business, right? But we don't want to pay back the whatever millions of dollars we're going to have to. So what's the exit strategy?
No. What I'm saying is, so make it sustainable.
Well,
right? So find a way, whether it's more than just a pancake breakfast a year, okay? Why not have a quarterly fundraiser up there, right? Then find a way to offset the losses. That's all I'm saying.
But given the argument that you make, is that even worth it?
Sure. If it breaks even, it breaks even.
But I don't think we're coming up with $20 million to pay back in sustainability. If we use these grants, we can do that. At the same time, the DEC has taken us to put our back against the wall, and we've seen where that is. We get in terror every time we get to budget season, where we try to figure out how we can try to plan sewer relining projects and things like that just to maintain their order on us that would essentially bankrupt and cripple the city.
Alderman Witte, yes.
I get what you said, I get what John said, and what Kevin said, and you're all right. I don't think anyone in this room can argue with you. But I'm really disappointed in our county. We have 3 legislators here in town, and what are they doing? They represent the city of Olean. They should be pushing to get more than $17,000 a year to the county for our airport. The county also promotes that this will help us economically, bringing business. Well, put your money where your mouth is. They need to step up, and they need to help with the airport. Because as you said, it's not just the people in Olean that use the airport, it's throughout the county. So I just think they failed us, and they need to step up.
Yes, Mayor Aiello.
We have put in for, in the grant for $125,000 from the county this year. And I'm meeting Sunday with our 3 legislators to discuss this amount of money. And I've already talked to a few other legislators throughout the county telling that we need more help up there. So we are trying to do that. So we'll see what happens this time. But we have been putting in for more help with the airport, and we keep getting back down to the $17,000 every year.
Bill, is that you're asking for them to include that into their budget, $125,000?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know if that was a one-time thing or into their operating budget, so we could start getting that every year.
That's what I'm going for.
Yeah, okay.
Sometime in the future, this has been an ongoing problem for the last 30, 40 years. I was over in 85 to 95, and these same exact comments have been being made back then. It seems like the airport is not going to go away, so can we maybe in a future date schedule a work session just on the airport so we can find out who utilizes it throughout the county, who utilizes it in the city, to see who it's actually benefiting, find out where our expenses and revenues are per line item for that airport, so we can make educated votes in the future. Granted, this is not free money, but it's free money to us from a federal grant. But if we're going to have to run the airport, we might as well take the money to keep the update. But I'd like to see in the future a work session just dedicated on the airport alone. And yes, I agree with you, Mayor Aiello, the county should. They call it Cattaraugus County City of Olean Airport. We'll put your money where your mouth is. The county should start contributing a little bit more towards this. I think they used to contribute at one time $50,000.
Yeah.
And then it went down to $17,000.
Well, that was, they have contributed more for, at one time we needed a new snowplow, so they contributed more towards that. But historically it's been knocked down. We've already requested more.
Right.
It's been dropped down to 17,000.
Right.
Yeah, Alderman Witte.
Yeah, I just want to remind some folks, back in, I think it was 2000, we actually had a gentleman that came to the city of Olean and asked to put a flight training school up there. And unfortunately, that gentleman was basically told, man, we don't want this. Even though some of us were interested, that he was turned away. And ever since then, he's had a flight school since 2000 in the city of, in Crawford, Pennsylvania. He would have loved to have been an Olean, but we turned him down. So, people in the past have tried to put things up there, but they've been turned away. And I think we just need to, get over ourselves and if someone's willing to help us and someone's willing to try something new, to listen. And we do.
Just quick, to go off of that and to try to reiterate, there are alternatives to just walking away. And if it's, if there's an opportunity to make it more sustainable, I've seen a lot of feedback from the community members looking for, I think they're only doing one drag race thing up there. Like that used to be a real popular ongoing thing. Again, a fundraising effort, a way to generate some revenue. I like Alderman Anastasia's comment about having a work session and all of us coming together as a team to start thinking outside the box. What are some ways to increase some revenues for the airport to make it a little bit of a easier pill to swallow? So.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, Alderman Dougherty, you said you wanted to sponsor?
Yes, sir.
Would someone like a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Alderman Witte. Will the clerk please call roll?
Alderman Witte?
Yes.
Alderman Dougherty?
Yes.
Alderman Crawford?
Nay.
Alderman Robinson?
Yes.
Alderman Anastasia?
Yes for now.
And Alderman Gonzalez?
No. No.
Motion carries 4-2.
Flip there on us, Paul.
What's that?
You flip-flopped on us, Paul.
I did.
Big grandiose speech about hypocrisy in there.
It's fine.
Resolution 74-20, PL 57-20, resolution dated October 13, 2020, authorizing the execution and delivery of a lease installment purchase agreement by the City of Olean in connection with the acquisition of Department of Auditor's equipment. We also going to sponsor that.
Okay, so we did discuss this in committee. Any comments, questions, or concerns? Okay, seeing none, would someone like to sponsor?
Sorry, Dave, do you want to?
Sponsored by Alderman Anastasia, seconded by Alderman Crawford. The clerk please call roll.
Alderman Witte?
Yes.
Alderman Dougherty?
Yes.
Alderman Crawford?
Yes.
Alderman Robinson?
Yes.
Alderman Anastasia?
Yes.
And Alderman Gonzalez?
Yes.
It carries 6-0. Resolution 75-20 PL 58-20. Resolution authorizing the transfer of funds from general fund contingency to line item 3120.235 Police Department communication equipment for costs associated with the replacement of dispatch computers.
Okay, we did discuss this in committee. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, or would someone like to sponsor? Alderman Witte, do I have a second?
Second.
Alderman Dougherty, second. Will the clerk please call roll?
Alderman Witte?
Yes.
Alderman Dougherty?
Yes.
Alderman Crawford?
Yes.
Alderman Robinson?
Yes.
Alderman Anastasia?
Yes.
And Alderman Gonzalez?
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0.
Okay, I will make a motion to adjourn. Second by Alderman Witte. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?